All right. Hello, everyone. How are we this evening? Usually I go at 5, but I noticed that the last couple of times that I streamed, I kept clashing with Mikey's stream and I felt really bad. So we are probably going to start going at 4 instead of 5. Um, that way I don't clash with Mikey's stream because I know everyone enjoys watching Mikey work his magic. The See his wonderful talent that he has. So yeah, it's been a little bit since I've done a stream, like an actual stream. Usually I'm streaming like Warzone or something, and you get to see my bullshit antics with the CYP, the cracked your plates uh little clan that we have going on. But I took a little bit of a break because I also had a convention that I had to prepare for that was in DFW. Um, but DFW is in 2 weeks, and the wonderful gentlemen over at the Smoking Joe's podcast are doing a show this Saturday with I think it's this Saturday or it's next Saturday with the runners of the DFW GI Joe and action figure show, which is going to be cool. They're going to ask questions and stuff like that. Um, and then I believe the Figure It Out crew is also going to do a show with them, with the showrunner as well. Because we're getting closer to DFW, guys. I can't believe it. Um, that it's already at the point where like in just probably 2 weeks and like a handful of days, um a lot of us are going to be meeting for the first time. So Shane will be meeting Woody for the first time, Woody will be meeting Shane for the first time, Woody will be meeting Gonzo for the first time. So it'll be really cool. It'll be a fun weekend. I'm excited for that. um but usually I would save this shit for my other channel, but I would like to kind of show you the little things that I got from the convention that I went to. So I went to Texas Frightmare Weekend for the third year in a row. This is probably the smoothest year that I've had going, even though there were a few hiccups, as there always are at bigger conventions. Um, but if you notice back here, I did switch out some art pieces here, so it's like really blurry right now. But I have the this year's print, which is a limited print, and then above me, I bought that Saturday, which I only went Friday and Saturday because that's what I took off of work. Um, but I have this really cool. I'm gonna see if I could pull up pictures. That way you can see what they look like. Um, to show you a little bit better of what they look like. But it's a really cool like Friday the 13th Scooby Doo kind of comic booky cartoon art print that I bought, which actually reacts under blacklight. I don't have blacklight, but that's what I was told by the vendor when I bought it. Um, so I got those. I got a really cool screen print, but that's all the way over there and you can't see it. Um, and then I also got this really cool print because it was only $10, which is also going to go up on the wall. It was from the last time Linda Blair was down here, which was 2017. So these were like limited prints. So I got to get a nice frame for that and figure out where I'm going to put that. And then, you know, I had to get the t-shirt for this year because I have it for the other 2 years. Um, which the first year we went, it was like their own personal design. Last year, I think it was American Werewolf in London, and then this one was Evil Dead because they had the original cast of the Evil Dead. So it's the Necronomicon, which is pretty cool. And then I always get the the patches. I always get the pins every year. Yeah, crinkly ASMR. So this is the second year, or no, this is the first year I was actually able to get both the regular and the VIP pin this year. So this year it was Jason X, since it was the anniversary of Jason X, and they did like a really cool what's it called? Like a really cool 4K box set release where you got Jason Goes to Hell on 4K and Jason X, and they had Kane Hodder there. So they put Uber Jason as the pin, which is pretty awesome because Jason X was one of the first horror movies I ever saw, and it was technically the first Jason movie I ever saw was Jason X. So pretty fucking cool pin. So that's going on my backpack that I'll be wearing to DFW. So if you see me with a shitload of pins on my backpack, that's me. What's going on, Crayon? How are you? Why? That's weird. Maybe I have to switch it and switch it back on. I don't know. It says show comment. Oh, show comments on stage. Okay. I see. But what's going on, Crayon? And then the VIP one this year it's obviously the Outlight of Texas with the clown horn for Terrifier, since they also had Terrifier, the cast of Terrifier there. Which they had like a photo op that you could do with David Howard Thornton in the Santa costume, him dressed up as Art the Clown in the Santa costume, but it was like $200 and something, and I was like, do I really want to do like $200 and something close to DFW since I have 2 conventions this year? So I didn't do it, but it was pretty cool. But it is a pretty cool fucking pin though, right? It's pretty cool. So those were the 2 convention exclusive pins, and then I finally was able to go to a vendor that I saw last year, and I wasn't sure that he was going to be there. And it's Spicy Donut is the vendor. They do like art prints, and they do pins, art prints, and I think they do stickers as well. But they had a 3 for $30 on the pins, and Saturday they didn't really have that many pins left. But so I got this one, which is a black and white pin, and it's Lock, Shock, and Barrel from A Nightmare Before Christmas, but they have the Halloween 3 masks, and they have the Silver Shamrock on the little TV. So it's like a clash of like 2 favorite movies of mine. I love Season of the Witch. I know a lot of people don't like Season of the Witch because it veers like way the fuck off from Halloween, but I like it. The other one I got was this one, Friday the 13th, Jason, but he's in the NES colors. And he's like decapitating a woman, a poor helpless victim. And then the other one I got was, they didn't have the regular one, but I still thought this was cool. And it's it's their Scream pin, but it's glow in the dark. So they didn't have the regular one. They only had one of these left. So I grabbed it. So yeah, I like their pins. Their pins are pretty cool. They have like a Cuphead, kind of like 1940s, kind of like cartoon style to them. So pretty cool. And then I only got like 3 things signed this year. One of them was yeah, that's what I'm saying. Season of the Witch is awesome. Season of the Witch is great. So I got 3 things signed. Friday I was in line for like 6 hours trying to get something signed by Linda Blair, and I didn't get. So I was in line. I got in line at 6, and I didn't get my stuff signed until like after 11. So that was fun. And then there was some dickhead in line that was being a Karen and complaining that they were pushing people that had like Friday only passes ahead of everyone else, even though that's justifiable that the Friday people would get pushed in front of everyone else. Like if we have weekend passes, we're going to be here all weekend. Like the people that only are going on Friday can only go on Friday, so it's only fair that they get pushed ahead so they can get their stuff signed. But anyway, it was funny because a bunch of people, there were like 4 other people that were like 2 lines ahead of me that were just over it, and there was like a 5-person argument in line, and I just stood there and just watched it. Merry Murderers is a very obvious play on the old Merry Melody shorts from Warner Brother. Oh, is that what it says on there? Oh, yeah, that is pretty cool. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, they have a cool they have a website that you can order the pins and art prints from. It's cool. But yeah, so there's always been a stipulation, and I'm here to put it to rest. There's a lot of stipulations with Linda Blair that she's not a nice woman, that she's mean, that she won't sign anything with The Exorcist on it, that she won't talk about The Exorcist. But I am here to vouch for that woman and say that she is actually very nice. I didn't have any issues with her. She wasn't rude towards me. It was like a very brief conversation because it was 11 o'clock. She had been signing for like probably 7 hours, and there was like 20 more people behind me. And she's up there in age. Okay. She's up there in age. So I'm not gonna say anything rude about that because I understand. If I was in her situation, I would be burnt the fuck out too if I had to sign my name on something, and sometimes multiple items for one person for like 7 hours straight. I get it. But she was really nice. She signed something for me. Now, this was a gift. So there's a story behind what I'm about to show you. So an old coworker of mine, before she left, she bought me something for my birthday. I'm one of those people that I don't like when people buy me stuff for my birthday because then I feel obligated and I feel in debt to pay it forward or pay it back. But she wouldn't stop nagging me about it. So she bought me this, and I promised her that at some point I would get Linda Blair to sign this. And this is where 6 hours later came in the clutch, got it signed. And it's this. It's a Reagan like mid puke little thing. So I almost have that little shelf that's right here behind me. I almost have that whole little row done of stuff signed. I have Elvira left, and then the whole fucking row is done. And I know I'm gonna hear it already in the chat that you people don't like Funko Pops. I understand. they're the spawn of Satan. They are a waste of money. They're a waste of space. But I like them because they don't weigh that much. All right. They don't weigh that much. They don't take up that much space when you're going to a convention. Because when you have to stand in line for hours, you don't want to have to carry a heavy ass thing around with you. Then you have to carry it around the convention itself until the convention closes. Then you have to lug the shit back to your hotel. It's a pain. All right. I saw people with like giant fucking 24 by 36 posters that were like duct taped in cardboard that they were carrying it around. Some dude was carrying like a 40-inch poster in a frame. So listen, I like to do it for convenience sake. But yeah, so this was like the fucking victory of that weekend, last weekend. This was the victory of it all. I can now officially say that I met not only Linda Blair, who is a legend and starred in probably one of the most uncomfortable movies in terms of horror that I have ever seen. I think every time I watch it, you just get more uncomfortable. But I also met John Carpenter too, which is down there. So, you know, little golf claps for me. All right. I take the little small victories in life. I take the, you can use a wagon. There was a dude with like 50, there was a dude that was like, I don't know, 10 people behind me that had like a wagon of these fucking things in like a storage tote. So, and like him and his wife collect them, and I was like, I can't do that much, but you know, if it's like one or two of them, that's fine. But I don't go out about like you could see I only have like I don't know, like 5 of these little things. I only get them whenever they come out, and I know that they're like pretty consistent con at like guest attendees. That's whenever I get it. But usually I get stuff like this to get signed because you get it at a convention and it's unique. And oh look, it still holds up. Like you can still see it. Nice. So I got this signed Saturday. This beautiful piece. I can't wait to put this on my wall. And it's kind of hard to see. I kind of have to like shine it on the light to kind of reflect it. But I got this signed by the actress that plays Ellie in Evil Dead Rise. Which is Alyssa Sutherland. And I got this signed like Saturday morning. I got to the convention center at 7, and the doors didn't open until 11. So I took like a 2-hour nap outside the convention center, waiting to get in line. And then I got in line and I like fucking rushed through like the security check, which for some reason I don't understand why. I don't understand why they like have to tag it, but it seems like I've been to 2 conventions already and they have tagged my fucking proton pack for some reason. And I don't understand that because people go in there with like fake weapons, like axes and shit like that. And that I understand. But like a proton pack, I don't get it. But they didn't do it on Friday, but they did it on Saturday. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I got this signed. She had to like go over it a couple of times because the like paint marker wouldn't take to this type of paper, I guess. But it's pretty cool. She was really nice. She felt bad that like it didn't, to her, the like the signature didn't come out that great, but I think it works. I told her it looks great because it looks like dried blood and there's like blood in the print, like drawn in there, so it works. Like it blends in there, so it's cool. It's still, I can still see it it still worked out, but it was really cool. She was really nice. So that I have to get a frame for. So I'm gonna slide this back in here. Like, I also have a Creep Show one that I have to get signed to by Tom Savini, but he's there like every year. So and then the other one I got signed was this. I got signed by Shawnee Smith. So if Tobin Bell ever does a convention, I will get that signed too. But this was like they did like a blood drive for like a day. It was like a really limited amount of time, and it was only at certain places. So if you donated blood, you got a T-shirt and you got this little poster, and I did that to get the poster because I thought it was cool. So I got to get that framed too. It was so down here every May. It always runs the weekend of May, but it's always random what weekend it runs. We have Texas Frightmare weekend, which here, I'll grab you the shirt here, see an idea. We have Texas Frightmare weekend. They've had it down here since 2009, but they've been doing it at the Irving Convention Center since 2023. And I've been going since 2023. So this year was my third year going. And like I said, it was the smoother. There were still hiccups. But oh, I didn't even know Alpha Red was in here. But it was smooth. So we'll see who they get next year, and then we'll see how that goes. But I had a little happy accident on Saturday. The piece that holds the V hook that my proton wand for my proton pack slides into, it snapped off by accident. But the reason why I say it was a happy accident is because I went to Ollie's like almost a month ago, or maybe it was a couple of weeks ago, and I got one of these for $40. Hang on. I got one of these, and there was someone on Etsy that sells the wiring already done to connect this to the Spirit Proton Pack. So, unfortunately, the Proton Pack will not be going to DFW this year. However, I will have it done for a wedding that I have to attend in October. But it does actually, it is a better like, it is a better wand because it like makes the sounds and lights up, and it has like the actual weight of a wand, and you can like push the thing in it. And it has like the cooldown sound too whenever you do it too much. Like if I it's better, all right? It's a better oh well. It's the that's way fucking cooler, I think. Cran, it's the Spangler wand from Afterlife. They didn't have the 84 wand, but it was a 50-50. It was a 50-50 on which ones actually showed up at Ollie's. Like, I've seen ones where Ollie's only had these, or other Ollie's only had the 84 wand. But there is a way to turn this into an 84 wand. You have to take the like duct tape off of this, and you have to find a way to take the shotgun pump off of this, and you can turn it into an 84 wand, because it is an 84 wand. It just has a different grip, and it just has like this really weird, like really shitty sculpted like duct tape on here, which whenever before I put this on my pack, I am going to cut this off and put actual duct tape on there, because this looks kind of chintzy. But I do like that it has like the actual weight. Like it's got some fucking weight to it. But in order to put it on to a spirit pack, you have to get the right size V hook for this to slide into, and you have to get the conversion kit for the wiring to plug it into the motherboard that's on there. So, but that is the like next, like after DFW, that is the project that I'm working on. But yeah, like $40. I went with my coworker because he wanted to go to Hobby Town to get paint. And we went to Ollie's, and they had like a couple of the Tracksuit Mafia, and I was gonna get those, but then I looked up and I saw the box, and I put the Tracksuit Mafia back, and I was like, oh, I'm grabbing this right now. This fucking thing is like $100 and something dollars. What is the name on my jumpsuit? I have so on my jumpsuit, this is my jumpsuit. So on my jumpsuit, I have my family nickname on my jumpsuit. So I went on eBay and I found someone that does the custom name tags, and I had them do my family name or my family nickname on there because I'm tall and I'm skinny, so they always called me Bonesy. And so they like custom stitched it for me, and it wasn't that expensive either. And you just go to Target and get the what's it called, the double-sided Velcro, and you just peel it off and just put it on the back, just glue it on the back of it. And the flight suit already had Velcro on it because it's an actual. This is like an actual military flight suit. So, which I got at a surplus store. It was funny. I went I went on one of my lunch breaks to see if they had the flight suit, and they had a whole bunch of them, and I looked in my size to see if they had it. And I went back like the next week and I was like, "Can I buy that jumpsuit?" I was here last week and I was looking for a jumpsuit for this. Anyway, so we went on 32 minutes talking about about my great wonderful time at Frightmare. But we didn't even get to talk about toys because there's so many things from the last time that I streamed that I wanted to talk about. And also, congratulations to Ninja and the Find My Figures ladies for not only their first convention that they're going to be hosting, which is ToyTuber Con, but also congratulations to them on coming back to DFW another year, which is really cool. So that'll be really cool. And it makes it even better because I owe Ninja a picture because I didn't have enough time to take a picture with him last year at DFW. So I want to talk about this first because I have become a Super Action Stuff fan. I own both of their little food accessory packs, and I own the arcade machines that they made with all the cool accessories. And they're putting out a vending machine now, which is cool because I don't know if there's like anyone on Etsy or third party companies that have a vending machine that you can actually put the stuff, like put accessories and stuff into. So yeah, this is really cool. It's like a little sci-fi pack. Um, so you get like a Mega Man blaster, a little scanner, some space rifle or space gun, pew pews, space pew pews. I forgot Shane got in trouble for that on his stream. Space pew pews and a flamethrower, which is pretty cool. And the effects for the different pew pews and an energy shield, which is cool. So, and these space swords, which are definitely not lightsabers. And there's like different effects, different explosions, and it all comes in this little vending machine. Which I think is supposed to come out the end of this month, but a little secret project that I'm in the process of building, I need something like this to sit outside of it as a little background piece. So this is perfect. I like that it has weathering already on it. I'm gonna probably add just a little bit more just to add a little personal touch. But I do like it. It is cool. I really like the fact that it has an area where you can put stuff in there. So if you don't want to put like all this space stuff in there and you want to put like soda cans or you want to add like dividers between these and put like food in there, it also works. But I really like this. I like this little accessory pack. I think it's cool. Hey, what's going on, Virgo? How are you? And Jeff is here. Jeff, welcome. I saw you were streaming earlier and I wasn't sure if I was going to cross over your stream and I didn't want to do that. The blood casket. I don't have the blood casket yet. I saw they had I think Gonzo sent me a link to another thing that they had where it's like it looks like a Fallout crate that it comes with like a bunch of radioactive pieces. Hey, what's going on, Abby? Welcome, Filmy. I like seeing some new faces in here. Anybody know why exactly Amazing Yamaguchi figures got delayed without new dates? Oh yeah, I did see that. I think Jury and Chun-Li were supposed to come out this month. But I would imagine when the tariff situation was brought up, that probably messed up a lot of release dates for um Amazing Yamaguchi or Revoltech, I'm sure, because I think their Harley got delayed until the end of this year or early next year, which is a bummer because that might be like the next Revoltech or the first Revoltech figure I've bought in a while. But I mean, hopefully they bring that up. I stream every day from noon to 3. Okay. Well, as long as I didn't cross over on anyone, that's why I started a little earlier because I didn't want to cross over on Mikey's stream. Let's see. The Sagat from Storm Arena, pretty cool. I thought it was funny that he had like this little ab crunch here, just because it looked a little bit different. I'm not gonna talk about the disappointing Doomslayer because I was really fucking disappointed in that because I love that new design for Doomslayer with the sword and the shield that you can actually throw in the game like Captain America. You can like boomerang the shield. So I was a little disappointed in that. Cable is getting a re-release, which is awesome. Different colors and some new accessories in here. The pew pews are still the same, but the sword, this sword that knife, these energy effects are definitely new. These, I believe, came with the original, and I think these came with the original as well. I know this one definitely did because this one I remember. And I feel like the original one came with more hands, but maybe not. Maybe I'm mistaking it for another figure. But pretty good. April of next year. So if you're looking for it, you got plenty of time. I already pre-ordered. I already pre-ordered her to go with my snail shell figures. So we are slowly. I'm slowly becoming like the Hugh Hefner over here with like Playboy Bunny figures. There's this lady that I don't know nothing about, but everyone's excited for her. So if you need her, I'm happy for you. Um, there is a lot of like third party figures. Like I don't know what these are. These look like ants or aliens or something. They kind of look like ants. Or something, and they're on top of like a blind bear. I don't know. Maybe my third party people know exactly what this is because I definitely don't. Uh, Figma announced. Oh, they did. That's right. They did announce a Doomslayer. That Marvel female drink bathwater. So the whole so it wasn't like the this is for the older folk that are confused about the whole bathwater fiasco, since I think like Sydney Sweeney or something like that is selling soap that's made of bathwater. So I guess we're back on that trend. We're back on that trend now with the whole bathwater thing. Um, this Mafex Chucky is interesting. I don't know if it's worth the purchase though, because NECA has already done multiple Chuckies already. So you could just buy one of those. But I mean, if you're like me and you buy the NECA stuff just to put on the shelf, you don't really need like a super fancy Chucky. You just need just like the teeny tiny one from the first Child's Play, or if you like this version of him where he's like got when Tiffany reassembles him and she like staple guns parts of him back together and stitches them up, then I mean you can still just put it up there. But if you're into like posing your figures and using them for photography and stuff, then maybe. I'm not gonna lie, the little suspender or the overalls look really cool in fabric, and that it's all torn up and stuff with the little buttons are cool. Um but I don't think it's justified for Mafex to make one. Um and then I got into like a little disagreement in the Find My Figures post here with someone, because I said it was an interesting choice for them to do this version of Miku, or for them to even make an Amazing Yamaguchi version of Miku, because she doesn't need this much articulation. Like, honestly, if you are one of those people that you like Miku and you need a Miku figure, you could just simply, where am I? You could just simply buy the Blockies version of Miku for like $30 and you get like Figma quality with her. And she comes with like a shitload of accessories. Like she came with a guitar and a keyboard and a mic with a mic stand and like a whole bunch of hands and faceplates and stuff for like $30. So like you don't really need to spend like $80 for a Miku. I mean, the only thing is like you have to like pop the pieces together because the blockies are like model kits, but you're not having to sit there with sprue cutters and cut pieces off and sand them and all that stuff. Like all this stuff comes painted. You just pop it together. So, um, or like what I have to start filming later, if you don't like that version of Miku, you could get the Sakura version of Miku, which is in like the Sakura like cherry blossom colors, and you could get this really cool little diorama. Wow, well, a flower came off. Diorama piece, like a little stand that she could sit on. And she comes with like a picnic basket and like plates and food pieces and stuff. And this I think was like maybe $10 more than what I paid for um, the regular Miku. So, but I mean, even if you just wanted like a nice, cool piece, you could you just get the Sakura one for this. But before you buy it, look at my review because there's only one other person that has a review and they don't go into detail. So if you're ready to be filled with useless information about the Japanese pop star, virtual pop star that is Hatsune Miku, stay tuned for my review, please. But yeah, this is like a fitness version of her, or it's a boxing version. But like, I don't understand why she needs this much articulation. Although I'll give Reveltech their props. I do like the fact that you can't really see it. Well, in this picture, you could see it. They put a joint in here and a joint in the arm right here. So she's able to get a more natural bend in the arms. Like, see, there's a separation here. So she has more of a bend. I like that. If they start implementing that articulation into more of their figures, that would be pretty awesome. But yeah, you don't have to shell out like $90 for a Hatsune Miku. Let's see. Uh-oh. Grant said I purchased my first snail shell milk girl. It's crazy under UV light. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Somewhat, you see the influence spreads. All right. I think it was, who was it that fucking got me into the snail shell? I think it was two people. I think it was Gonzo was one of them. Gonzo was one of them that got me into the snail shell figures, and it was one of my other YouTube friends. They got me into them, and I bought who's the first one? The Milk Tea Girl was the first one I bought. Then I bought the regular Bunny Girl. Then I bought the exclusive one where she's in the more like Playboy bunny costume colors. And then Gonzo, the fucking gentleman and the scholar that he is, put me on a payment plan for this. And as much as I would love to review this for you, I can't do it until after DFW because one of the clauses was that I can't open this until DFW. But he was kind enough to put me on a payment plan for Sayori, which is like the grail of snail shell figures because she is so expensive and so hard to find that you have to like scour the face of the earth to find her. But she's awesome. And look at all the, hang on, I gotta move my mic here. Look at all the fucking accessories she comes with. Look at all that. Look at all those accessories, dude. A stand. She comes with a stand and multiple like adjustable pieces for all the flames and like the staff and like a ground, like a cracked ground crater piece and all those hands. It's fucking impressive, dude. She needs all that articulation for battle poses to secure that victory royale. I've definitely gotten a few funny clips playing with Angelo, because Angelo and I play Fortnite whenever we can. Chan Yamaguchi made a figure of Fortnite. Yeah. There's actually a comic panel where where she showered in a river, I think, and Wolverine drank from the same water like a dog. Interesting. So we're gonna have some interesting pictures whenever what's her name here comes out. But I'm glad that Crayon is over here buying what's it called? Is buying snail shell figures too. It doesn't make me feel as bad. This I need to see what the price is on this, because if he is like $30, I might buy this too. This is for all the people that aren't anime fans. This is oh shit, hang on. Sorry. For all the people that aren't anime fans, this is oh, I probably could have did it like, there we go. For all the people that aren't anime fans, this is Father of the Year material right here. All right. Yujiro Hanma, Father of the Year, baby. I'm just kidding. He is definitely not. He's not. He's a fucking demon of an anime villain. And he has the demon back too, which you can kind of see. But if they do a version of him where he doesn't have the shirt on, you could see it a little bit better. But he is an absolute, oh shit, they did, what the fuck. Oh yeah, this is the regular Storm collectibles version of him, which is like way out of scale, but that Storm Arena is one I might get. But yeah, he has like 0.1% body fat, and he takes pleasure in beating the shit out of his son Baki to the point of death. So pretty cool. Again, like I said, if it's $30, I'm totally down for I'm not asking what you paid, but what is a good price? I got you, Cran. Let me, they do still have her on they do still have her on Ami Ami is where I got her. And I sent the link to Ninja, so if you grab it before Ninja does, congratulations, because this is like the lowest I've seen her priced. Usually she's like 150 plus, but right now she is really, really nicely priced. What in the hell is that? Oh, it says Goddess of Victory figures. I don't know nothing about that game. All I know is it's one of those fucking gotcha games where they get you to like gamble money to try to get certain characters, and I am not at all about that. Now, Cran, it does say it's pre-owned, so look at the condition there, because it might be like mine, wherever mine because mine doesn't have like any issues with anything. I think it was pretty much. I think it was one of those that it was just pretty much not opened or anything. But I went ahead and I put the link for you in the chat there, Crown, for you to grab it. From that Marvel Legends photo, someone is definitely going to recreate that panel with her figure. I wouldn't be surprised. I have seen some pretty heinous figure photography in my time. I'm skipping over all the furry figures because listen, different strokes for different folks, but I don't know nothing about that. There was the Hawk Girl that no one could find. And I think she sold out in like 2 minutes when she went up for pre-order. This I'm actually gonna try to look for and try to catch the pre-order before she goes into production, and that's like the third party, not clearly not Chun-Li from Street Fighter Alpha 2 with like Rebel Tech articulation, but I might get it because this is my favorite look for Chun-Li is the Alpha 2 costume, so I might have to pull the trigger on this. We'll talk about the G.I. Joe stuff that was shown. But that I'm excited for. What is this? Oh, this is kind of cool. I feel like Gonzo probably already pre-ordered it. He probably pre-ordered it and then didn't tell me about it. But it's like a little, I don't know, like cyberpunk space little vehicle. That's kind of cool. I mean, it is translucent, so you would probably have to spray that with like a matte coat, the little translucent pieces, or paint it. But that's pretty cool for $60. It's not a bad little price, and it has a little stand and LED lights in it. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little piece. I kind of like that. What is this? Like a third party? It's like a third party Arkham Knight Batman. What does that say? LPZZ Batman. So it is an Arkham Knight Batman. I don't know. Like from the lower half here, it looks like it might have Rebel Tech articulation, but it doesn't have like those wide butterfly joints like a Rebel Tech. Interesting. Curious what the price tag is going to be on that. I don't know what this is either. It's like a beetle man, like a kaiju. I don't know what that is. That's kind of cool. It looks like a kaiju. That might be something Kaiju Kitty might be into. I like how Tamashii Nations is selling concrete pieces. I cannot imagine what the price of that would be, but I can tell you, you could actually do this for like a fourth of the price that they're going to charge for it. And all you need is like a couple of bottles of paint and some foam and like an X-Acto knife, and you could pretty much achieve the same thing. I'm not going to talk about the Fantastic Four movie stuff because I feel like that that has been bludgeoned to death already. The Marvel versus Capcom stuff here is not anything that I'm gonna get. I was gonna get the Psylocke, but I don't feel like I don't personally feel like paying for a fucking hostage pack here for the Psylocke. And I'm still gonna hold out hope that Rebel Tech eventually re-releases the Amazing Yamaguchi Psylocke that they did a couple of years ago, and they fix the hair, because that is probably the best Psylocke that you will ever spend your money on. You will be able to get her in more poses than you will this Marvel Legends. So I would say just hold out hope, because if they're doing Cable and they re-released him, then you're going to be able to get that Psylocke for not that much. Give me 1 second. Okay. So yeah, as nice as the Psylocke looks, does she even have an extra face, or is that just the only... Oh, she does have an extra face. As nice as it looks, I don't think it's worth the hostage pack. And I feel like down the line, they're probably going to do a maximum series Psylocke, and it is probably going to be this exact same figure. The color might be just slightly different, but they will probably do a maximum series Psylocke, and it will probably be that, but in like X-Force colors or something. So it's not like that's a one and done. They're gonna probably milk the hell out of that Psylocke until that cow is dry. The Kaiju Starfish kind of looks cool. Looks like a D&D character. Looks like something you see in like Baldur's Gate or something. But that looks cool. Looks fun. So, I feel like out of all this stuff here, that might be the best seller out of all this stuff. Maybe the Psylocke. Maybe people will buy into the hostage pack for Psylocke, but it's just oh well, no, Juggy they might get Juggy too, because he has butterfly joints. So they might cave in for Juggy there too. So 3. They might get you for 3. And then for Yojo June, which I guess was today, they showed Budo, which we kind of already knew about Budo, and he looks great. I think it's funny that he comes with an FFAR, which is the same the same gun that Dusty came with. I don't know why they wouldn't give him like an SMG, or I don't know, like something more compact, since mobility. And they gave him the same fucking pistol that they gave Helix to. So, nice to know that Hasbro is big on reusing pew pews that are character specific. Like, Helix should have been the only character that came with those pew pews because the original figure had those pew pews. Like the 3 3/4 inch version of her had these pew pews. So why is everyone else getting this pew pew? Just like with Dusty, why are we why? Why? Why are we doing this? But the rest of the figure looks great. The swords, I think Jeff already said it. The swords are inaccurate, but Marauders does sell these swords with the sheaths, so they're not that expensive. Maybe like $2 a sword. And the scabbards for those are significantly better than these, so I will probably do that because I have to do it for Senshi. I have to get Senshi the right swords too, because he only came with a katana, but he should have the katana and the wakashashi. But yeah, this figure looks great. The this head sculpt kind of looks like Kirk Hammett from Metallica, which is kind of funny, and that's kind of cool that they have G.I. Joe in Japanese there on the little shoulder plate there. But it's a good figure. It's a good figure. Do I think he needed like all this shit in here? I don't think so. I think if they had just released him with like this helmet, this here with um uh, those shin guards, I guess, or take half this shit out. So get rid of this, and this, and just give me this, and like maybe this, maybe give me like one pew pew, but not these. Give me like an SMG or something, and we'd be good. We would be good. No one would really complain. But now they kind of are giving you an incentive to buy 2 figures instead of 1, so that you can make both versions of him. And he did go for pre-order. Gonzo told me he sold out. So I don't know entirely what the price tag was on him. I am curious though if someone has the price tag for that figure. That concrete piece from Tamashi is the easiest thing anyone could do. Exactly. That I don't understand. The best 112 Psylocke is customized Jada Toys cami with. Oh, I actually never would have thought to use that cami for Psylocke. Interesting. Samurai Guy's katana is a reuse of the one. I am actually pretty sure that that is exactly what it is because I can see the side sculpt that they did here for that. So yeah, does anyone know what the price tag was for Budo when he went up for pre-order? Because I imagine the listing still isn't up anymore. But does anyone know possibly? This one, I think someone had leaked it or said that this was coming. But we have a SWAT team / policeman figure here. So he has this kind of raincoat or like rain poncho going on there, taser, flare gun, baton, the range goggles, yeah, going on there, handcuffs, 2 different head sculpts, a cap, a coffee, which is kind of cool, One pew pew, two pew pews, and like a riot gear helmet and a riot shield. So pretty cool. I think this one will probably be the one that sells the best out of all these legacy ones, because this one, I think this one and the firefighter will probably be the two, because those are two that you can put pretty much in any scenario. You can put them with your Marvel Legends, you can put them with your Joes, your Valiverse. You can use them for like regular scenarios. So I think this works out. This pew pew, I don't quite like it. I think this was from, who had this? I think this was from Snow Job. So I kind of wish they had switched that out, but everything else looks good. I don't have really any complaints about this one. I think it looks pretty good. So a W for Hasbro on that. Sliced and Dice. We saw the prototypes for these like a while back, so we knew at some point these were gonna come out. They look cool. I like them. They are Pulse exclusives, I believe. So I think you have to be a Pulse member in order to buy these, which kind of sucks. I guess because of the like really shitty sales they've had for 2-packs as of recent, that's why they're gonna probably start putting them as Pulse exclusives. This Mercer and Slaughter 2-pack, we already knew this was on the way. It looks like we might have some new pew pews in here, because the Chris Vector I have not seen with any other classified series figure yet, which is awesome because I like this pew pew. I think it's a fine pew pew. And you also have, looks like an AUG, I think maybe is what this is. Just because of the drum mag back here, this has been reused like multiple times over. I even think Firefly came with that. I think Snake Eyes, Firefly, like several people have come with that. This I think is a reuse. I think this might be new, or maybe that came with Major Blood. That I think came with Leatherneck. But I kind of like this. I kind of like the new little camo here. I think Gonzo is a fan of this one because of the camo. Yeah, not bad. And then the MMS, which I think was the one people were waiting on the most. This Hawk actually looks really good, but I don't know if I would justify paying whatever the price is for this Hawk, because I kind of like him with all the gear on. Like this looks pretty cool. That looks really cool there too. But like everything else, I don't know. They still haven't fixed the the blast effects, which is kind of funny. But these look pretty good. You know, like the figure itself here. Yes, all the pew pews here are reused, but the fact that we're starting to get more green shirts is a good thing because I know a lot of people that are strictly old school only for the Joes, so they want more green shirts and OG13, so that's a good way for them to get that. Let's see, is 34.99. Eject Budos price 34.99, and that LPZC Batman's articulation is better than Revoltech's. Ooh, nice. That third party Sky can call their Chun-Li 14 days. Fortnite Battle Royale Road Duelist. It could, listen, they probably could call it they probably could call it Fortnite and just change the spelling a little bit. Maybe they get away with it. So yeah, that was like everything that they showed. They showed the Cold Slither pack for SDCC, which not entirely something that I personally need. That is cool though that they come with instruments. The box is cool that it comes with, but and then we have the Awe Striker with crankcase. So again, we still don't have a price tag for this yet. So I'm curious what the price tag will be on this. I feel like it will probably be, knowing Hasbro, it'll probably be more expensive than the Stinger and the Vamp. Not together, but like the individual prices for the Stinger and the Vamp, it will probably be more than that. Somehow, some way, it'll be more expensive, and I could not tell you why. And then Ramen Toys posted this for their BotCon G2, not G2 Megatron tank that he's doing. But that's gonna be pretty cool though. I kind of like the way that looks. I like that SE Figuarts is doing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure too. So that's one of those deep cuts that they're doing. I don't know why they waited until now to do JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I guess try to capitalize on the JoJo fans. So I think this weekend is when, is that right? Yeah. This weekend is when we will have the announcement for the DFW 2025 exclusive. So I think this was a teaser from a couple days ago for what that might be. I see a Combat Medic patch right here, and that was something asked at the panel last year, is when we were getting Combat Medics. So it seems like my question will finally be answered very soon, and that makes me pretty happy. But I also need Valiverse to get on it when it comes to the weapons pack that they showed last year that had some specific pew pews in there that I have wanted for quite some time. And if I can pull up their thing here and see oh, maybe they, what the hell? That's odd. Type in Valiverse and apparently it's too extreme, guys. They're too extreme for Instagram, apparently. Um, so they're gonna have those. I guess they're doing shoes now. This is interesting. I don't know what this is gonna imply. Maybe like a boat or something. Maybe. I don't know. But the tack vests now, or these plate carriers, I like these because this is a sign we're finally getting combat medics. So now Doc is not the only combat medic that exists in action figure form, which is very exciting. Because I feel like combat medic should have been something that should have been focused on a while back. But yeah, this pew pew, that pew pew, this pew pew, those are the pew pews that I'm waiting on when we're getting the packs for those, because that was shown last year and there's been no new updates or anything like that on there. So, but yeah, I think, you know, there's some excitement to go on with that. I definitely pre-ordered that. I pre-ordered that off HLJ already because I didn't think that they were going to reissue that Samus. That Samus used to hold like a pretty high price tag for quite some time. I thought maybe at some point they would do the new suit for Samus, since it is like a lighter, it's like a lighter shade of blue for the like outer parts, and then the like inner details, or the more intricate details and patterns on her suit are more like a dark blue. I thought maybe they were going to do that one, but they just went with the darker suit. So, and then maybe that could have given them the opportunity to improve on some articulation that they were working on there. So, trying to think if there was anything else that came up. Because I don't think there was anything else. Yeah, in terms of that, unless they have an update. Oh yeah. So I just went to the Super Action Stuff Instagram here, and it looks like I was right in terms of this here, to where you could adjust the shelves and put little things in there. So people took these little Funko Pop things that I think Cran was talking about earlier, and you could actually put them inside this vending machine. So I think if you, like I said, I think if you put dividers in there, you could put like soda, like the little soda cans you could get at Hobby Lobby, or like food accessories. I don't know if there's anyone that does like candy bars or like bags of chips or anything like that to put in there. But you could definitely do that. Is pretty funny though. I have the Smezco ghost face. I don't know if I want to review it or not, because I am slightly disappointed in it. But yeah, I'm excited for. I am quite excited for that new pack, and you will definitely see the review on that, because I did recently do a review. I don't know if anyone got notifications for it or if I did just like kind of a piss poor job with it, but I did review the Super Action Stuff food, the little food packs, which I have in like a little baggie right here. These, like the food little packs, I did review that. I don't know if it recommended it to anyone though. But it was like a surprise drop whenever I did it. So I don't know. I did try something different though. So maybe people weren't digging the format, but I might just start doing reviews like that, because I did keep it. I cut quite a bit of time off of how I would usually do reviews. That would be like that would have been like a 30-minute review just talking about food. Here it was like 9 minutes. And the lighting was better. It was like pretty short and sweet and to the point. And I had a fancy little outro there too. So we'll see. But I went for an hour and 26 minutes, which is pretty good. Like half of the time was me talking about not DFW, but that's what we got the next 2 weeks for, right? But I think this is a good time to end it, because I do still have a review to shoot. But if you haven't seen it, check out the last video that I put up. It was like a couple days ago. Tell me if you like the new format. That way, I at least know that I'm doing something right. And well, I kind of already spoiled the tease, but there was a tease at the end of that video on what the next review was going to be, because I've been doing that for like a couple of years now. Is that I would put a little tease at the end of my videos to see if people would catch it, if they would stick all the way through the video, or if they would just like kind of click through and just kind of cherry pick whatever information I gave about the figure and then just kind of dipped. So, but the next review is going to be the Blockies Sakura Miku, because I am very, very impressed with what Blockies has done as of recent. And these are my first 2 Blockies figures. I didn't buy any of the Transformers stuff because I'm not a huge like deep into Transformers like that. But if you are, that's good. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna take away from That, but when I saw that they got an announcement, well, when they announced like earlier this year that they had gotten the license to make stuff for Hatsune Miku, um, I was curious what they were going to put out, and they put the regular Miku out first, and that was really solid. Even though this one has some nitpicks, whatever issues this one had were fixed with this figure. So if they go through and they make all the versions of Miku, that would be sick. If they do all the versions of, if they do the rest of the Vocaloids, that would also be cool. I know they want to probably make a bunch of Miku's first because she was the first Vocaloid, so it makes sense. But yeah, just stay tuned. Oh, Virgo's going to Joe Fest 25. Nice. Thank you, Virgo. I try. I haven't done this in a while. Usually I'm over here goofing off with the boys on video games. And not doing this. But yeah, so yeah. If you haven't seen the new video, let me know what you think about it. It is a little bit more polished. So it feels more polished, more professional than like previous reviews that I put out. But we're getting there. I'm trying to find my little step there. But I think once I finish the reviews for these two, though, the Sakura Miku and the regular Miku, me and Great. Oh, nice. Nice, very nice. Once I finish the review on these two, I think we will probably do maybe the arcade machines, because I also really like that. I know I'm going. I said that I was gonna go. We're wrapping it up here. I also like doing the videos in terms of like the accessory packs and Dio stuff, because I know a lot of you are getting into the figure photography and there wasn't a lot of videos out there or a lot of information or tips or anything like that on where you could find this stuff for like an affordable price. Like there was when I got into this like 6-7 years ago, into taking pictures of figures and the figure photography and this YouTube stuff and collecting, there was no information about Hobby Lobby. There was no information about Daiso or anything like that. And oh, you tell him I said hello. And like Daiso and Hobby Lobby and Michaels and all that stuff, there was no information about that. It was pretty much like the Wild West. Like you either had to find the shit yourself or you had to make it yourself. So yeah, like whenever new stuff shows up at like Daiso and stuff, I will try to spread the information. Like this little table here, this little folding table, this was at Daiso for like $1 and change, and it's like a little fancy little model kit table that you put together and you could put stuff on it, and it sits pretty flat, you know. So, just because I know how expensive this stuff can get in terms of getting props and stuff like that, you end up spending a whole bunch of money. But if you're trying to do it the affordable way, I'll try to help out as much as I can. But anyway, that is it for me. I've gone on an hour and a half, like 30 minutes past what I usually do. We will be back next week for the countdown to DFW. And if anyone that's going to DFW wants to come on and chat and socialize, let me know. Stay tuned for the Sakura Miku review. And I will see all of you next week. Ta-ta.